Hi everyone, I am Vaishnavi, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Applications, Dr. S.N.S. Rajalashmi, College of Arts and Science. Now we are going to see the topic Designing a RESTful API Interface. To design a truly RESTful API, developers should adhere to these principles and constraints. That the principles are using resource URIs to identify and manipulate resources, using standard HTTP methods, that is get, post, put, delete for code operations. Then the next one is providing self-descriptive messages using appropriate media types like JSON, XML, implementing the headers to make the API discoverable and navigable, ensuring the API is stateless, allowing for easy scaling and high availability. The next one is uniform interface. The uniform interface is a fundamental principle of REST that simplifies the architecture and improves scalability. It defines the interface between clients and servers, ensuring that they understand each other's actions. In REST, resources are identified by URIs, that is uniform resource identifiers, and interactions with the resources are performed using standard HTTP methods like get, put, post, delete. In the client server architecture, we have to seen in REST. The client-server architecture in REST separates the client and server components, allowing them to evolve independently. Clients are responsible for the user interface and user experience, while servers manage resources and application logic. This separation of concerns enables scalability and simplifies the overall architecture. The next one is stateless. REST is stateless, meaning that each request from a client to the server contains all the information necessary to process request. Servers do not store client state between requests, which reduces the complexity of the server and improves scalability. Client can include session information in whenever, whichever they needed. The next one is catchable. In REST APIs can be designed to be catchable, which allows responses to be stored and reused by clients or intermediaries. Caching can be improve performance by reducing the need for repeated requests to the server, especially for resources that do not change frequently. In layered system, REST allows for a layered system architecture where intermediaries such as proxies or gateways can be used to handle requests and responses between clients and servers. These intermediaries can perform various functions such as caching, load balancing, and security enforcement without affecting the client-server interaction. The next one is code on demand. It is the optional one in REST. This principle is optional in REST and allows servers to send executable code to clients, which can then be executed to extend the functionality of the client. Some examples are include JavaScript functions or plugins that enhance the client's capabilities. The next, we have to see designing a RESTful API. We already know about the REST APIs. We have to move on to do some key aspects in REST. Identification resources. Resources are the key abstractions in REST representing entities or concepts that can be uniquely identified. Resources are typically identified by URIs, that is Uniform Resource Identifiers, which provide a unique address for each resource. The next steps in designing a RESTful API involve defining the URIs, HTTP methods, and responses. Defining URIs, resource URIs, each resource should have a clear, consistent URI. URIs should be intuitive and follow a logical hierarchy. Here there are some instances and sub-resources for that. Next, we have to move on to the HTTP methods. So you use standard HTTP methods to interact with the resources. The first one is get, retrieve resources or collections. Post is to create a new resources. Put, update an existing resource typically used to replace the entire resources. Patch, update a part of an existing resource, and delete, remove the resource. Next, we have to see the statelessness. Ensure that each request from a client to server must contain all the information needed to understand and process the request. The server should not store any client context between requests. Hypermedia as the engine of application state provide links in responses to guide clients to related resources and actions. For example, when retrieving a hotel resource including links to its rooms and nearby attractions. Thank you.